We're here at the 11th annual BREEF Teacher Training Workshop in San Salvador at the Jerez Field Station. And we have about 30 teachers here who are really excited about all the activities and lessons that we have for them so they can get prepared and be really excited about the environment.
Every time we got into the classroom, whatever we discussed, whether it was types of coral, types of fish, types of seagrass, the different coastal zones, as soon as we got to discuss it in class and we had a presentation, we were able to experience it not only in the water, which was fun and exciting and a learning experience, but we also got to play games and to put our knowledge of it, our newfound knowledge of it, to test.
Well, the first day we did the snorkeling, it was a little bit scary because, well, I love the water, but going under there was like, oh my God. But once you got under there, it was pretty cool and you got to see all those fish. And then first thing in the morning, you wake up and they show you all these fish on the slides. And then to actually go out there and actually see them was really, really cool. It also helped you to remember which was which.
We took a trip to rocky shores. We came here to learn about organisms that live on the rocky shores. And while exploring the rocky shores, we put down a quadrant to find out some of the organisms that can be located on the rocky shore.
The teachers played games and worked with conch and explored the contents of mangrove mud as activities during the workshop. And this is really important because they got an opportunity to be on the other end of the lesson, They got an opportunity to experience what it's like to be a student and do these activities and, see what works and what doesn't work, what's exciting, what isn't exciting, and really feel it out before they tried it out on their students. And so they'll be better prepared for activities to do in class with their students.
I have been in the water before, but of course during that time it was totally different. This time I was looking for something specific. It was more detail oriented. We went with a purpose. We were looking for specifics. So now every time that I'm going into the water from here on, I would know that I need not put my foot on top of the reef. I would know that I'm not supposed to touch it and the reasons why we're not supposed to touch it. I would know the purpose and why it is that we should not do what we are doing today.
I have snorkeled before, but in learning some of the new things in the classroom, it opened my eyes when I actually went into the water because I was actually looking at the marine life in a whole new sense.
Here at the BREEF workshop, we have teachers participating in a great number of different activities in the marine environment and on the shoreline, and we hope that these teachers will take these activities back and use them in their classroom and share them with other teachers in their school.
This morning we looked at treasures in the sea, and I particularly liked the game where different people were assigned different organisms and you had to look for your symbiotic partner. And that was very wonderful. There were pictures as well as literature, so it was suitable for various grade levels.
One of the games we played was involving M&Ms, and we had a bowl which represented the ocean with some M&Ms inside. The first time we were able to use a straw to suck the M&Ms up and which represented the fish, and we put those M&Ms into our boat. We had to put our hands behind our backs, which made it difficult. And then in the next round, we actually used a spoon to scoop the fish out, which represented the increased technology that fishermen now have with the fish finders and the big boats and the huge nets. And so by the end of the game, all the M&Ms were taken out of the ocean, which meant that basically the fish stock was depleted and there was nothing left in the ocean for us to fish. So it was a really good way to show the children just how fragile the balance is, and the more we take, unless we're careful and we respect times in the year when the fish need to be left alone to breed and to have their babies, or protect them in marine parks where they're able to increase their numbers. If we don't do that, that there is a terrible danger that these fish will become extinct.
At BREEF, we believe that teachers are really important, and we'd like to expose them to a number of different experiences to introduce them to different topics about marine conservation that are particularly relevant in the Bahamas today. Topics that we've addressed at this workshop are things such as the invasive lionfish and some of our endangered species like conch, grouper, and the San Salvador iguana.
The trip that I took to Green Key with the iguanas, it was, a different and new experience to see that in the Bahamas we do have different iguanas, and they were very friendly. They walked right up to you, and you got to see how they lived and what they fed off and everything.
The lionfish presentation was pretty awesome. I liked how watching him clean it and everything was pretty cool. A lot of people have a negative view of this fish, but it hasn't had any fatalities so far from everybody that's actually ate this fish. So it would be pretty cool if we can get the local fishermen and everybody into catching this fish, even that it is an invasive species in our water. It kind of helped to keep the numbers down a bit so that they don't cause any further problems for us. Being the only male down here on this trip this go around was kind of well, I'm used to being the only male around usually in teaching because there's not that many of us around, but if we can get more guys down here to see what it's all about and understand it a little better, then maybe we can work together to get this thing controlled.
This camp is really important because it gets the teachers excited about being environmentally conscious and conserving our environments because they get to experience them. And the teachers can then pass that on to their students through classroom activities and just educating students about what goes on in our Bahamian environments. And so we're reaching 30 teachers per year, and then those 30 teachers go out and they touch many students, and they really, it's a multiplier effect, and they help us to spread the word about environmental consciousness in the Bahamas.
Well, when I get back, I hope to let my students and my colleagues know that we need to be more protective about our marine environment, and also about how they can recycle, reduce, and reuse. That's very important.
I've always known that the Bahamas is a beautiful place to be, and this experience has given me the facts and the knowledge I need now to explain to my children, my students that I teach, and even my colleagues why the Bahamas is the best place to be, why it's beautiful, and why do we need to preserve the things that we have in the marine waters.
I will share this experience with my colleagues and my students, especially my students, and hopefully I'll get the chance to take them on a little snorkeling experience so that they can actually get to see the little marine organisms to a nearby reef.
Currently, we have a science club back home, so definitely I hope to get my kids more involved with the coastal environment and definitely raise more consciousness about the factors that affect our marine resources.